don't know about good, but it was
Was it?
It was a championship game last night. Congrats to the Crimson Tide. Also some big news on the transfer portal. I don't know if it will affect the Cards eventually.
It will not.
Wendell Robinson.
I'll tell you right now, it will not, and we will not further discuss his name on this show.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll let that one go. So anyways, y'all just take Uncle Stevie's word for that one. That will not be happening.
Already written in stone.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where he's going to go,
but it's not here.
But I know where he's not going to go.
Okay.
Brian, had you had any idea that we had no idea that the whole show intro had already started and everything?
No, I thought y'all could hear it in there.
Really?
No,
I thought y'all would be able to.
I think, usually we can, but I think like mine was down.
I didn't have my headphones
I was
plugged
going to
up.
say, because I thought y'all heard it. Y'all were wrapping up your conversation.
No.
I thought y'all were just
That's funny though,
ready to
because
go.
my volume was down, and then Marcus didn't have his headphones plugged in. He plugged his headphones in, and it was like
Marcus Maven and Steve
we were
Roberts.
like, whoa, is this legit? It's all
Sorry
good
about
though.
that.
No, it's okay. We're ready to go.
Well, it is like 10:08 right now.
That's fair.
Okay,
enough.
let me.
Fair enough.
I mean, listen, college football national championships. The morning after is always so horrible for me, and I'm gonna say this, Steve. And listen, out of the 365 days, the good Lord gives us,
Okay.
there's one day that I hate college football.
Okay. And that's today. I'm listening.
I say this once a year, y'all. And listen, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna get it out in the open. And listen, I'll go back to my my Bad Boys reference. After I say what I'm gonna say, we're gonna throw this conversation in this little box.
I know what you're gonna say,
and we're gonna close this little box, and we're gonna throw it in the ocean. And that box is gonna go all the way down to the abyss of the ocean, to the canyons of the deepest parts of the ocean. We're never going to bring this up again. But when I watch
I know
Alabama on championship night,
it's tough. It's tough.
What am I going to say, Steve? Tell him for me.
It's tough, man, because it is just, I mean.
Look, we haven't talked about it, Steve. There is no pre-show meeting.
Yeah, no.
Everybody heard exactly what my setup was. Steve said, I'm listening. And what am I going to say, Steve?
Because they're just so good. And the players are so good. And then it's like, I love, like in basketball, see, I watched the national championship game, and most years I'm like, we could have beat them.
Yeah, we could have beat them.
Like in football, though, you watch a team like that, and you're like, I could have played my best game by far and probably lost that game by 2 touchdowns. Like, it's just, it's demoralizing. And that's why you appreciate, especially in football, when you have the moments like the Clemson game and the stuff like that. And why, as Louisville fans, I hope the next run we have, we all appreciate a little bit more, because it's like to get to where these schools are. I mean, even Ohio State. I mean, a team like Ohio State's got pros everywhere. And you're looking and you're going, man, like it takes a generation to get there.
Did you see number 4? I didn't even remember his name. Backup running back for Alabama.
Yeah. Or was it Williams? Or?
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does it matter?
McLennan, I think.
I don't know.
Does it matter?
Maybe. No, it doesn't.
Matter?
No, I mean,
Number,
you'll know his name next year. Yeah.
Number 4 comes in, Steve, at a running back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he has a better burst. And the weight he put, for him to be a slimmer guy.
Oh, I know.
The weight he put behind his finishing of his runs. I'm like, who is this dude?
But you know what you were doing 3 years ago? Who is this dude behind Derrick Henry? He's behind Henry. He's a true freshman. Najee Harris. They say he's pretty good, man. I mean, look at him. He's a true freshman.
You know what we were doing 3 years ago? The stupidest moments of sports radio in history.
That was some of the worst. But I never even sold myself on that. That was one where I was like, going into that year, I was like, I mean, we could, but it was like,
no. I mean, listen, their wide receiving core is unproven.
And that ended up being the best wide receiving core of all time.
In the history
But what
of
we were saying was true. They were unproven. Their DBs were unproven.
Oh,
Patrick Surtain, Diggs, who's now a Cowboy, like Xavier McKinney, all these guys. They were young guys. They were freshmen and sophomores. I mean,
so we
you're
were
like,
technically telling the truth.
we're like, I mean, they are technically unproven.
I didn't lie to you.
But yeah, it's.
So you agree with me? This is a tough day after you.
It always is.
Yeah, because tomorrow I'll be like, mate, you put on 30, 40 pounds in the off season and really, really lock into the.
I mean, Kentucky played them less than a month, probably 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago. And you know how much they lost by?
I don't remember. What was the score?
60. Kentucky lost by 60 to Alabama. 60 points, Marcus. Do you know how hard it is to score 60? They lost by 60.
You held Kentucky to 3
Yeah,
points.
like it's like the local schools. You're
in
like
40 minutes of football. All you could muster was 3 points.
Yeah.
Are they still in the SEC?
No. That's why I say that all along. I'm like, no, y'all don't play that SEC football. You play in the conference, but you don't play that. When I talk about SEC and I'm like, dude, I love some SEC football. You give me powerhouses at 3:30, I'm in.
Even their targeting penalties look different.
Oh yeah, he almost killed the guy. I mean, it's just it's incredible, man.
And it was like he literally was looking to put his head on the football.
How about my son too? Ohio State's going to win.
Oh, you listen. We meant to talk. We were supposed to talk about that. Okay,
Yeah.
Set it up, Steve. You told your son.
Yeah.
Okay, your son's kind of having a hard time.
Well, it started.
detaching.
Yeah, it started just being a normal conversation. He was like, I was getting back from Tennessee yesterday. I was going to pick him up, my oldest, and we were going to watch the national title game together last night.
And
right?
keep in mind, people, his oldest is right in that wheelhouse that he has his own opinions a little bit now.
Mhm.
So they're starting to be fun for Steve to debate
Yeah.
a little human about sports.
So I think it kind of stems from he's got some friends that are Kentucky fans,
Uh-huh.
and he's getting into the rivalry now, which is perfect time for him because we're owning it from here on out. So he's like, as long as Mac and Cal are here. So he says, Ohio State. Oh, I said, he said, who you going for in the national title game? I said, I kind of hope it's a good game.
Yeah.
I said, but I don't think it will be. I said, I think Alabama probably blow them out. I said, probably beat them by 2. I said 2 touchdowns. I said, they'll beat them by 2 touchdowns. He was like, I don't think so. I think Ohio State's going to win. And I was like, well, that's fun. And we did. I said, well, that's fun. I mean, you're not serious, right? Like, I don't know if, are you just going for him? But I think he's got some friends.
No, Steve is really debating his little growing man child right now.
Yeah. And I was like, well, he said, well, Ohio State killed Clemson. And I'm like, son, Bama was going to kill Clemson.
Right.
Like, that didn't matter. Like, this Bama team, I watch a lot of football. They're extremely good.
Uh-huh.
Like, all-time great.
Y'all ain't it? Hey, Brian, can't you just see this conversation going down at the home front, especially the Rummage household?
100%.
Yeah. And I'm like, they're all-time great offensively, man. I'm like, you understand, their best receiver got hurt, and the next one won the Heisman. And their quarterback and their running back finished in the top 5.
They're surgical.
Yeah, like they're insanely good. And their defense isn't exactly crap. It's not great compared to the other Bama defenses. So anyways, we're going back and forth.
Does he understand recruiting at all?
Where
you're like, well, like Louisville's best player, they got like 25 of those.
No, because he's still, I don't want to take that away from him just yet, because he still
has dreams himself.
Yeah, he's still in the like, hey, Louisville we get a couple guys
win a
here
national
and there.
Championship.
Yeah, like he's
in
his brain, he's still like, well, I mean, it's not like they got Tutu Atwell, and I'm like, yeah.
Okay, so
right. But anyways, it was a good back and forth. So we sit down to watch the game. He's telling me by the third drive, he was like, Alabama's really good, aren't they? I was like, yeah. he says, "Do you think we'll ever be that good?" And I'm like,
Let's talk about this.
here's what I said.
Hope so.
I said, maybe sometime in your lifetime. I literally wasn't ready to commit that my eyes would ever see a Louisville team that good. So I was like, I literally said, maybe sometime in your lifetime. Like, but I won't.
So you kick the can down.
Like, I'll die. I'm 33. I'll die before I see a Louisville team that good. So, like, I'm not saying I won't see a Louisville team in the playoff. Not saying, hey, who knows? Maybe win a championship. But things are going to have to happen,
Right,
for Louisville to do that. Like, not a team that can just line up and go, literally anybody you line up in front of me, I'm going to beat. Doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter. Like, maybe Louisville wins the ACC one year, and then, like a Pac-12 team gets in, and it's like, okay, Louisville gets the Pac-12 team, and then they get
has the fall in line.
Yeah. It's like, it's going to but no. So it was terrible and beautiful. It was a beautiful mess all at once. But you're right, man. It was awesome, dude. It's good football. And I'm ready to get back and watch our football.
So how long does it take you to wash the stench of Alabama, Ohio State off?
I mean, spring ball. You get around to spring ball, and you're not that you, but you start to focus back on your team. Where you're like, okay, we got some things here we can do. What can we do? But we have different goals, man. I mean, there's no shame in that. Like Louisville basketball, we have different goals. We have Final Four goals. Like, that's why Louisville fans right now, we'll get into it in a little bit. I mean, that's why you start to go, hey, Final Four, you skip right past second weekend. You skip right past the fact that we've been on a slump and haven't made it out of the first weekend for 4 years,
right.
5 years. We go straight to, can they win it all? Like, can they win the whole thing here? And but in football, it's different goals, man. Give me 8 wins. Give me a good bowl game. Give me 8 wins and a good SEC bowl game. It's a good season.
Sign me up.
Yeah, it's a good season, man. And Charlie got a ring last night. Good call, Texter.
Butch Jones got a ring.
Butch Jones got a ring. He's a life champion and a national champion.
He's probably going to be a head coach of.
He is Arkansas State.
Oh, he took that.
He took it. Yeah, he's got to build his way back up.
He kind of should have won a little more with his talent.
I know.
He had Alvin Kamara.
I know. Yeah. I mean, that was probably the 5th best guy he had. So it's kind of crazy.
He didn't play Alvin Kamara, Steve.
I know. Well, to be fair, neither did Bama.
No, he couldn't make it.
Kamara was behind Yeldon, Henry.
Golly.
That's
Alvin Kamara was 4th string at Alabama, y'all.
Yeah.
But even still, he was 2nd string at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Golly. I don't want to play football.
I know. Speaking of football, do you know what else I learned? Because I know we're going to get into this basketball conversation probably after the break, because I don't want to jump right into
right.
with this. But you know what else I learned yesterday? I learned that I'm no longer worried about protecting my comments on here.
I'm listening.
Because I've learned, like, Mitch literally don't have ears. Or he doesn't comprehend.
I'm listening.
No, it's one of the two. And it may be a little bit of both. It may be a mixture of both.
I'm curious.
Do you know he tried to play sound yesterday that said that basically we were just comparing Malik for an hour to Lamar Jackson? I'm like, did we not openly say, and usually I'm just like, okay, it's all in good fun, whatever. But I'm like, I actually texted Andy during the show because I was on my way home. I was listening to him yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I usually don't even text him about something like that. But I was like, he is so far off base with what we talked about Malik Cunningham yesterday. Like, he wasn't even close. Like, I mean, he was like not even playing on the same baseball field as where we were talking about.
Right.
Like, I thought we were pretty clear yesterday when we said, not trying to sell you on Malik. I mean, right. I guess we are to an extent, but we're doing it because he's the guy, whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
it seems like he's the quarterback going into next year, right?
Right.
Okay. I don't recall us saying he's going to take on Lamar Jackson type scrutiny, right? But because that was what was said.
Is that what they turned it into?
Well, not they.
Yeah.
No, Andy and James are clean on this one. I'm pretty sure. I just want to redo just to make sure, like, let's all have, because I wasn't in front of y'all's face yesterday and I wasn't on the stream. So make sure we're all on the same page here. We did just say, right, like, he takes more scrutiny because we just watched Lamar Jackson, right?
For 3 years.
Yeah. So I just want to be clear that we weren't doing a huge Malik Cunningham sell job yesterday.
So
right?
what do you do about that? Do you just let it go?
No, that's what I was saying. At this point, I think you just stop.
Okay,
caring.
put it this way. Do you think that hurts your reputation for them to get on that drive time show and say things and misrepresent your words?
Huh.
Do you think, like, if anybody gets on any other show and misrepresents your words like that and say they were comparing, his career to Lamar Jackson or whatever, you think your perception, your public perception takes a hit? What people think of you?
I don't think so, because it came from Mitch. But
so that's the only reason you let him get away with it.
Yeah,
because
Andy was like, "Whoa, now, like, hey, I didn't hear all that." Like, I think even Andy was like, "Wait a minute, I talked to them when they're not on the show. Like, I'd be kind of surprised." Like, even James was like, "I'd be kind of surprised if Steve jumped on there, because they know how I feel with this." Like, and look, I look for the positive with Louisville football, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. That or basketball, whatever.
In life,
I'm going to try to find what the positive things. So yes, as the summer goes on, that's what we were talking about yesterday. Is there anywhere we can find any optimism going into next season with Malik Cunningham,
or readjust our expectations, or readjust our criticisms and all that good stuff?
Yes, but
but you heard that and you're like, you're really trying to turn this into a shtick of Lamar Jackson, Malik Cunningham.
I'm gonna have to call Grossman till Grossman start scanning our show. Grossman, you scan the show, because I enjoy the sound and stuff. I enjoy that. Like, I like listening, and I hear my voice.
Texas says it's time to take more followers.
I know. Yeah, it's time to take more followers from Mitch. So it's like, look, I enjoy it, but I'm like, dude, look, you know what I texted Andy? I texted Andy yesterday, and I was like, I said, Mitch is terrible. Now, I mean, Mitch is not terrible. He's a good producer, but I'm just saying, like, I was saying about this thing. I said, Jason Ants would kick his, you know what? just so we're all clear. Just so we're clear.
You don't want that going on behind the scenes. Like, watch your job, Mitch. Be careful. Be careful when you misrepresent Steve Rummage's statements on there.
I know.
Because listen, while you don't see the immediate bite back, be careful.
I know. Yeah, it's just so
the day Steve Rummage feels like his reputation takes a hit because of something you say or misrepresent, you'll regret it.
Now, with that said, I am excited about my basketball team.
Quick commercial breaks, middays with Marcus Maven on 939 The Ville.
You've heard Tom Shane on the radio, but have you actually visited Shane Company? If you're looking for a unique engagement ring that reflects your personal style, come see us. Not only do we have all the classics, but our in-house design team is constantly introducing beautiful new styles. For your center stone, you'll find all the traditional diamond shapes, as well as the trending shapes like oval, cushion, and princess cut. Another way to make the ring uniquely yours is to choose a colorful natural center stone. We're known for our vivid rubies and sapphires. Our sapphires come in over a dozen colors, like peach, lavender, and ice blue. Visit our store or go online where you can create and virtually try on any ring. With the largest selection of ring settings and loose stones, unlimited combinations and looks, at Shane Company, you can get your ring your way. We'll protect it for life, for free, and keep it sparkling like the day you said yes.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial pound law on your cell phone. That's pound 529. Office is Louisville.
Scheller's Fitness and Cycling is your local source for all the equipment you need for a safe and effective home workout experience. Go to Scheller's for a treadmill, elliptical machine, water rower, home strength equipment, or the Echelon connected spin bike, or connected mirrors, and much more. Take advantage of 12 months no-interest financing. Scheller's Fitness and Cycling is taking pre-orders on hard-to-find models from Trek and Electra, so plan ahead and be ready for spring cycling. They're the #1 fitness and cycling retailer in the region. Buy local. Buy from Scheller's. Online, Schellers.com.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/real. That's right. Free, zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/real. That's forhims.com/real for your free online visit. forhims.com/real.
When you can't get to Double Dogs, bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With choices like Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog bowl nachos. Double Dogs will make sure everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.doubledogs.biz and then give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
Oh, ship! I need to get this package downtown by noon.
Don't worry. There's a brand new on-demand delivery service by Z-Trip. It's Z Shipping.
Are you shipping me?
No, we're shipping your packages.
For the quickest, affordable on-demand courier service, visit zshipping.com. zshipping.com. Let Z-Ship help you with your delivery needs. That's zshipping.com.
Hey, Card Nation, let's be honest. The real estate market in Kentucky is booming. And whether you want to buy or sell a home, now is the perfect time to do it. With interest rates at an all-time low and programs that can get you in a home for no money down. Want to learn more? It's simple. Just call Derek A. Stewart with Dream JP Pirtle. Derek is available virtually around the clock to listen, understand, and help you with all your realtor needs. So don't waste another second. Call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
We're proud to partner with our favorite go-to caffeinated beverage, Focus. Not Focus with an F, but with a PH.
When the reality of COVID-19 hit, our friends at Focus donated over 200,000 cans of Focus to nearly 400 hospitals across the U.S. to keep those on the front lines fueled.
And good news, now you can find Focus at more Kroger's, Thornton's, Liquor Barn, and Party Mart, as well as all the usual spots like Rainbow Blossom, Heine Brothers, Paul's Fruit Market, and CVS.
Or save 15% when you use code ESPN15 at www.drinkfocus.com. Focus, Phocus. Try it today.
Mark Ennis here, telling you about my friends at Bosch Lawn Care. For the past few years, I've trusted Bosch Lawn Care with my yard maintenance at my house. That's mowing, weed eating, trimming bushes, cleaning mulch installation, and much more. Get yourself out of hours of work in the yard when you could be kicking back and enjoying time with your family and friends. Call 833-2GET-CUT. That's 833-243-8288 or visit them online at BoschLawnCare.com. Trust the lawn experts I trust. They're professional, affordable, Bosch Lawn Care.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
So nobody heard it on the YouTube.
So the YouTube didn't hear
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Okay. But that is funny because, okay, Clemson jumped obviously in the rankings. Do you want to know what I enjoyed about the rankings even more so? Okay, Louisville. How much did Louisville jump there? Okay.
That was what I was most excited about, Steve.
It wasn't actually what I was most excited about.
I'm listening.
Hear me out. Louisville jumps to 16.
By the way, the conversation we're talking about, y'all, is Louisville shows up at number 16 in the AP poll.
But where's Virginia Tech?
Yes, good point. They're number 20.
Where were they last week?
19, I believe.
They dropped one spot.
Virginia Tech dropped one spot.
That
and Louisville jumped 10.
That to me said that the voters said, Louisville team's really good. We're going to put them to 16 and we're not going to punish Virginia Tech for losing to Louisville.
They jumped people. You don't jump 10 spots by just beating the number 19 team in the country unless you impressed a lot of people.
The jump to 16 is what it did for me was it made me a believer that the people out there said, okay, I watched the game on Wednesday because that's probably the first time they really watched Louisville. I mean,
since Wisconsin.
Well, they probably watched Kentucky, but at the time, Kentucky probably still is a dumpster fire, but then that Virginia Tech game, Virginia Tech had a lot of respect because they took down Villanova, did what they've done. And
wait a minute, Virginia Tech beat who?
Villanova, who's top 5, right? Are they still top 5? So they beat them. They
Villanova is 8-1 and number 3 in the country, Steve.
There you go. Their one is Virginia Tech.
I told y'all yesterday, don't f with me. Don't let this team get where they don't let this team start doing this, Steve. That Virginia Tech team you just saw, y'all, and y'all know we owned them. Y'all know that wasn't a 3-point game. That Virginia Tech team y'all just saw beat the number 3 team in the country.
Yeah. And you didn't feel like you were
in any danger of losing to Virginia Tech?
No. I mean,
would you agree with that, Brian?
100%.
We're gonna take this phone call and we're gonna stay on this subject.
Yeah.
Steve. Scott, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
How you guys doing today? All right?
You good?
Good.
Show. Yeah, I listen to your show all the time. Hey, just one question. I know you played big time basketball. I played high school ball, but
same thing.
Why is it that we are trying so hard to let Sam Williamson start when you've got so many other people just playing, Slazinski and all the rest of them playing their hearts out? And in 2 years, I've yet to see him do anything but jog up and down. He has the same speed when he comes in the game, when he goes out of the game, when there's a fast break, when he's getting back on defense. I'm not trying to knock the kid, but I think it cuts everybody else short when that's all that's really talked about a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you guys elaborate on that, but I just noticed that, and but.
Yeah, no, Scott. Listen, I appreciate the question. You want to address that, Steve?
I will a little bit. I do think what he's saying there at the end. I think that would be the point I can get to a little bit more. I don't like that it has become a conversation over the kind of the nitpicky conversation, but also Sam right now is averaging 9-6 on the year. Okay. 9-6-1 is what he's averaging on the year.
Kentucky's over the hill about a transfer who's averaging.
Yeah, like Kentucky is wetting the bed right now because
over a center.
They got a center whose averages 9-6 from West Virginia. And I'm like, this kid right now, 9-6, he's 6'7", he's 210 pounds, and he's had some good games this year.
And his upside is different.
Yeah. I mean, when you look back this year, I mean, he's had He's had just this season alone. Okay, I'm gonna read you some of Sam's, because when we compare him to other players, he's had 17-6 in game 1, 6-3 in game 2, and that was Seton Hall. He got hurt. Then his next game he played, he had 7-7. That was against Wisconsin. He had 14-12 against Pitt.
I'd take that.
He had 4-6 against Kentucky. He had 12-3 against Boston College. And then the Virginia Tech game, which was the most recent game, which I totally understand. He was 0-4 from the field. He had 1 point, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, right? So I get that. But here's my only thing. He was benched. So, and I would have this conversation with Scott. Like, I get what you're saying, where he's like forcing him to, where I know what you feels like that, but he benched Sam Williamson. He benches Sam Williamson, and Sam Williamson responds by winning the gold jersey.
I'm glad you said that. I was gonna
2 of the last 5 weeks.
2 of the last 5 weeks. And
that means if you're dominating practices, that means I can send you out there and I can root for you to get it together.
The coach sees the potential, so he knows he's capable of.
Yeah, no, not even potential. You're doing it on a daily basis in practice.
We see it in the game.
Sure, yeah, right. Yeah. Well, and even when I even kind of want to say that, because I'm like, that's some pretty good numbers throughout the season, and he dealt with an injury right in the middle of that. And that, like, I heard Biscuit say something. I got to hear about 10 minutes of the show this morning. And when I was listening, they were talking about Sam Williamson, actually. And Biscuit said something. He was doing the Wayne Blackshear thing, which I agree with. But he said he even kind of cringes when people do the VJ thing right now, because Sam's already just this season had 4 or 5 productive games more than somebody like that.
17
obviously, Coach Matt got in his head too, because he won the gold jacket this week.
Yeah,
and that comes after his worst performing game.
Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives it?
So that's a good thing. That's what I was going to bring up. But I also he made a point about how he looks lackadaisical, and I think sometimes that Sam doesn't get the benefit of the doubt because of how smooth he looks. Like, his playing style is very smooth, and it makes him look like he's almost like, half. Going. I was going to say half.
Listen, I can go down a laundry list of players to put on Louisville uniforms, and if they were smooth, Earl Clark. It's like
I was going to say Earl.
Yeah, you can go Earl. You can go Jo. You can go Clifford Rozier unless he's angry. You can go Marcus Maben unless he's angry. No, seriously.
Marcus.
No, I used to get that same thing. Like, you're laughing too much. You're smiling. Like, what's funny? You're supposed to be out here, like that kind of stuff. So I know the narratives that take on a life of their own if you look smooth.
And I think that's the case with Sam. I think Sam just naturally looks smooth. He's a 6'7" smooth player, and it makes him look like he's being lackadaisical at times. But I think the effort's fine in that sense. I do understand where Scott's coming from, in the sense that a lot of these younger guys are playing really good basketball, and with Sam not playing great basketball, why are they not getting more minutes? But at the same time, when you hear that he's winning the jacket and in practice,
Brian,
that
stop
means
saying
that
jacket.
Coach sees the potential. He's trying to push it out of him.
Stop saying jacket.
Hey,
it's the gold jersey.
It's a penny.
Why are you giving him a gold jacket?
Somebody said Sam won the gold jacket over Shooter McGavin.
Green jacket.
Listen, but in the last 3 games, though, here's my only thing where I would argue that he started out 34 minutes.
Do they have fouls drawn on that stat sheet? You got
no.
You remember how they, like a couple years ago, they said they're going to start like,
they might. I don't see it.
Making that stat. Okay.
But he played, I mean, they got how many free throws he shot, but he had,
Steve, they've always had.
No, I know. Yeah. But I mean, I'm like, that's closest they have. So 34 minutes, then he had 21, but that was the game he got hurt. 40, 35. But then here's his last 3 games. And why I would say, I don't know that we're forcing him. 27 against Kentucky, 20 against Boston College, and 14 against Virginia Tech.
So yeah, when he's not playing assertive, he's getting put on the bench.
Yeah, and like I said, I enjoy. And look, here's his free throw percentage every game. Every game that he shot a free throw, because some of them, there was 2 games he didn't. 100, 100, or I'm sorry, 2 of 2 for 100, 2 of 2, 100, 5 of 7 for 71.4. 1 of 1 for 100, 1 of 2 for 50%. So I mean, he's even he's hitting his free throws. Like I'm just saying, like we're doing his field goal. I mean, just his percentages all around. I mean, his steals. I mean, he's had a steal in 4 of the 6 games he's played in. I mean, his turnovers are.
Listen, he does a great.
I can argue that
people beating him for rebounds or anything.
For those worried about him, I mean, he's going to have somebody else challenging him for playing minutes here in the next week.
Right.
I mean, if he doesn't pick it up, Minlin will take some minutes.
Why do you think he's been winning the gold jacket?
Yeah, well, and Minlin, and we'll get to Minlin because we found out yesterday that he's the way I interpreted that, and we'll have, by the way, at 11:35 today, we're going to have JJ Traynor and then Coach Mack.
Normally wouldn't take the player, but local guys get a little bump.
Yeah, we get to hear JJ, and we'll stick around so that way if there's a break in between, we'll kind of break down what they're talking about. But Coach Mack kind of alluded yesterday, and if I took it the way it would read, that Charles is involved in everything we're doing.
Yeah.
That, to me, that I took that as full go. So that means Sam, in the first week of Charles being back, Sam wins a gold jersey after being benched. Because make no mistake about it, he got benched. Coach Mack and when you're benched, when the coach is like, I'm not going back to you. Like I'll play anybody on here other than you today. And that's what happened to Sam. He benched Sam and was like, that's it. And Sam responded with the gold jersey. So I do understand why people want more out of him. I want more out of him, but I'm just saying, to me,
he's behind schedule too.
Sam? Oh yeah, I had Sam behind schedule. But I do think that there's things that are happening that make me that encourage me about Sam Williams. Absolutely.
Moving.
Which one? Dan Quinn or Bill Belichick?
Yeah,
we'll just stop everything and have that conversation. Brian, would you accept the Medal of Honor?
Dan Quinn will be a good defensive coordinator.
Right, let's go for that. Let's go. Dan Quinn it is.
Moving forward.
Medal of Freedom. Sorry. I don't want to offend anybody.
Moving forward. Would you buy stock in Sam?
That's a really good question. Because that's a tough question.
With Charles Minlin coming back, Josh Nickelberry looks like he wants to play some basketball.
And now's where you could buy really low with Sam. Because you're coming off, I'm just saying game specific. I'm not contradicting what I said because I think he's had a fairly decent season, but Virginia Tech was bad.
To your point though, stocks wise, this would be the time you would buy low because his potential is high.
Right. And coming off the Tech game, I mean, that's right there where it's like, okay, he just got benched.
Put up or shut up kind of thing.
But there's a little bit there with the gold jersey that says maybe there's some potential there, but also we're adding another piece at his position. That's a great question. First texter says no.
Would you buy?
Somebody said I'd buy on Sam.
Would you buy a healthy toe?
Mine are fine.
Would you buy that his toe?
If I lost a toe, no, I would not buy one.
I
think I would just say no. I don't want somebody else's toe. Just while we're doing that, like I was being funny at first, but then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, no, I don't think so. Like an inside organ to me would be fair game. You know what I mean? Like if like my wife is very, very heavy on organ donor. Like she's like, I'm an organ donor. I want to, if I pass and I can help somebody, I want to be able to help somebody. Right. I was always squeamish about it. I know where we're going. I know this is crazy going off topic here, but I was like, maybe, but I think inside organ is fair game. Outside organ, I'm not taking anybody else's. Like, I don't want somebody else's ear, somebody else's finger. Like, so if I lose any of these at some point,
any of your phalanges,
yes, like I'm good. That was a mistake I made that I'm going to deal with. And now I'll do with, even if it throws me off balance, whatever,
we're assuming it's big toe for permanent.
Yes.
I'll learn to adjust.
Yeah.
Listen.
Oh yeah. Just period.
God made the body ability to adjust.
Yes.
All of a sudden your second toe will start getting bigger.
Yes.
And it'll start kind of leaning over where the toe is missing at.
Right.
And before you know it, your balance will be right.
I'll figure it out. But I don't need Jim from Montana's finger,
You just let the body naturally adapt. T, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
JT.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
I just wanted to say one thing real quick, because normally I don't talk about, me and Charles are good friends. We normally spend time talking about music and other things, but I did just want to say this. I talked to him the other night, and he's been practicing at full speed for well over a week now. And from what he tells me, his lateral movement's good. He's jumping off the left foot and dunking the basketball. He can run at full speed and sprint. And he is playing Wednesday for sure.
Well,
so I've been looking forward to this for weeks and weeks, man. Since the first time I heard he got injured, it's like, oh my God, now we got to wait 2 months to watch this kid play. But yeah, he's coming back, man, on Wednesday, and I can't wait to see him. I don't think he's going to play big minutes, man, but I don't even care. I'm just happy to see him with the jersey on and on the floor. So
absolutely, man.
I know there's been a lot of speculation, so I just kind of wanted to, to say that. I mean, he's been doing well in practice for over a week now. So with him being able to sprint and jump off the left leg and not feel any pain, that's promising, man. So I just can't wait to see him. And like I said, man, I'd buy stock in Sam. I think the guy's going to be just fine. We just have to, there's a lot of things that people don't know, even myself too, that go on with the team, especially with COVID and stuff. And, we find out about, everybody that had COVID and we don't really know sometimes what these kids are going through behind the scenes, I guess. So I can't be hard on anybody right now, until somebody's consistently bad. And then I'll start, kind of thinking twice about that. But I just wanted to call in and make this statement, guys, and I'll hop off here and listen.
Appreciate the call.
Appreciate it, man.
Breaking news. He's been playing good. Oh, well, I got one for you.
Okay.
Mr. Smart Alec.
Okay.
LeBron James toe. Would you take it?
Maybe.
Listen, there has to be something in there in that toe that can benefit my life extremely.
Maybe, yeah.
Real quick,
How do you think about it?
I agree with JT. I would definitely buy stock in Sam. I've always been a huge Sam fan, and I think that he'll be just fine long term. The one thing that does scare me, though, is we've been hearing since he was at the McDonald's All-American practices that he's a good practice player. Because every player at the McDonald's All-American made a point, like, who's kind of the surprise guy.
He got mentioned every time, yep.
And then we hear that he's getting the gold jersey a few times, and he was doing that last year too. So my word, you don't want to get into assuming things, but you hope that it can translate to the actual games on a consistent basis a little more often.
Yeah, and when talking about that, can you realize, like, Coach Mack is irritatingly stubborn on the practice will translate. And I'm saying irritating in like a, you're going to hear that from your coach every single day, just to practice. And we as fans are like, yeah, I just want the gamers. Like, I don't care.
Well, I think Brian makes a good point there.
Right.
Because at the McDonald's practice, you remember, they were like, man, Sam Williamson is a monster.
No, I'm backing Brian's point up by saying,
but he was good in the game though.
By saying Coach Mack, is such a hard guy on the practice, and it will translate eventually to the game, that you might as well just assume he's doing this thing in practice. You know what I'm saying? If he's getting his time in the game,
he's showing it in practice.
He is showing it in practice, because Aiden is almost like the 100% reverse mode of that, because we see Aiden play 4 minutes, do 4 good things and 1 bad, and he's getting benched. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
there must be something.
Got 5 minutes. He's got 3 points and 3 rebounds.
Right.
Yeah. Take him out for Coach.
Where's that stemming from? Right.
And you have to assume after 3 years of Coach Mack that he cares about practice.
You reading in anything to him not dressing?
Right. No, I thought he's injured.
Just okay.
Yeah, I assume he's injured. No, I'm not. I'm not reading into that until I hear he's
right. That's fair.
In the portal.
Yeah. So, but that's a good
Texas
point.
Says, I dumped SAR stock.
So he's moving to Kentucky players.
Yeah.
He said he'd dump his SAR stock to buy Sam.
I would too.
So he's consolidating.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sam right now, we as a fan base, we're growing.
Are we still scarred by VJ?
Yeah, well, not just VJ. I mean, multiple players, but I mean, I think we're growing as a fan base. We're growing with Coach Mack because Coach Mack is not Rick Pitino. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're kind of growing there with how we're going to do this. We're learning how Coach Mack's going to handle it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Texas says Steve is drinking that blood orange red. No, this is not the blood orange red.
It's peach.
What made you go with that?
It was peach or cucumber. Peach it is, my friend. Yeah, peach it is.
You're just like, let me get some folks.
and more. Round Construction specializes in commercial general contracting. You've probably seen their work at 4th Street Live, as well as many healthcare facilities around the area. For their full portfolio, visit roundconstruction.com. We trusted Round Construction for our expansion, and you should too. For your next project, use Round Construction. Online at roundconstruction.com or give them a call, 581-9191.
Now that sports have officially kicked off, there's only 4 things missing from your playbook. 4 pegs. Looking for great smoked wings? 4 pegs. Looking for juicy barbecue and award-winning chili? 4 pegs. If you're just looking for some cold craft, tap, can, or bottled beer, 4 pegs. And the best part about 4 pegs is it's right around the corner at 1053 Goss Avenue in Germantown. So you better get over there fast because the word is spreading. And while you're over there, be sure to ask about their food truck and other catering services.
Way back in 1860, Nelson's Greenbrier Distillery founder Charles Nelson introduced the world to the pleasures of Tennessee whiskey. A century and a half later, his great-great-great-grandsons have resurrected the family business and its finest creation, the original Tennessee whiskey. Nelson's Greenbrier Tennessee whiskey, now available in Kentucky for the first time since Prohibition. Nelson's Greenbrier Tennessee whiskey. We hope you'll agree it was worth the wait. Please enjoy responsibly.
I'm Ethan Moore.
And I'm Taylor Lynch.
Check out Louisville Sports Live, the city's longest running all U of L sports talk show, every Wednesday at 6 o'clock right here on 93.9 The Ville.
All the best local and national guests talking all things Louisville football, basketball, and recruiting.
Every Wednesday at 6 right here on 93.9 The Ville. And follow us on Twitter at Elville Sports without an O Live.
And check out the website, LouisvilleSportsLive.net. Go Cards.
When you can't get to Double Dogs, bring Double Dogs to you. All you need to do is fetch and go. With choices like Black Angus burgers, wings tossed in homemade sauces, and dog bowl nachos. Double Dogs will make sure everyone in your family can enjoy their favorites. Now offering family-style dinner deals for a limited time. See our menu at www.doubledogs.biz and then give us a call to order. Come pick your order up curbside today at the Middletown Commons location. Take the night off and let Double Dogs do the cooking with Fetch and Go.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by O'Brien Ford. Kick off 2021 with big savings on a great selection at O'Brien Ford. Just a short drive to Shelbyville. Drive a little, save a lot, or visit o'brienford.com. Last night, we had the College Football National Championship coverage for you right here on 93.9 The Ville. The Alabama Crimson Tide defeated the Ohio State Buckeyes 52-24. Heisman Trophy winner Devonta Smith was also the National Championship Player of the Game after he had 12 catches for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. That was all in the first half as he exited the second half with a finger injury. Congratulations to the Alabama Crimson Tide on being the 2020 national champs. Sticking with football, but this time the Cards' former Louisville wide receiver Corey Reed Jr. is heading to Jackson State, as he announced last night. Sticking with football, former UK commit and Mr. Kentucky football Wan'Dale Robinson has decided to leave Nebraska and enter the transfer portal. Robinson has played 2 years at Nebraska, and last year he led all Nebraska receivers with 51 receptions for 461 yards and a touchdown in 8 games, and he also added 240 rushing yards. In 2019, he had 40 receptions for 443 yards and 2 touchdowns, while adding 340 rushing yards and 3 scores on the ground. Those were all freshman records for Nebraska receivers. And last but certainly not least, ahead of tomorrow's Louisville men's basketball game against Wake Forest, head coach Chris Mack gave an injury update on Charles Minlin. He said that Minlin is close to